the guide already. It gives you a full rundown. So I'll just do a recap for you guys. It gives you a full rundown on how to get this stuff started. So I've been working with people from the community, and some of them want to remain, like anonymous in this. Others probably don't care, but whatever. If they wanted to come out and work with others to do this stuff. So I have a couple that I'm actually using as editors for my channel specifically, but they've also started their own channels as well. Some of them have been successful, others are struggling. It's really niche dependent and just kind of striking while the iron's hot on the topic that you're covering. So I wanted to run through this first before, or let me preface with, let's recap. So for all the new people that will be watching this, it'll serve as a recap for them because I'll record this video. So I think it's a 3-part or a 4-part, but it walks you through in depth on how to actually get this started from developing a niche to literally the very, very end of what the product is supposed to look like. So if you've watched up until then, you are pretty much ready to get started. Some of the nuances aren't there, like people were wondering where to find editors and stuff like that. Editors can be found in Fiverr. So Fiverr is what I use. Like I mentioned, I think on the live stream, I used editors from as cheap as $20 to as expensive as like $600 per video. The sweet spot seems to be $100 as far as like bang for your buck, where your video isn't penalized because the editor sucks. Anything above that is very stylistic. If you want editors that could do custom animations, I don't believe it's worth it for these videos unless you're trying to brand a specific style of editing that you want to be known for, right? Synonymous with your channel. If that's not what you're looking for and you just want to do faceless, then the $100 editors will work. Now, the problem is most guys, I don't think they have a right idea of what's happening with the faceless AI channel. They think it's slop. They think it's very low effort stuff. It's just not hard. That's the difference. It's not that it's low effort. It's just not difficult to do when you understand what you need to do, but it's not slop content. It's actually very informative depending on the niche that you're actually going to cover. Like the videos are the videos you would watch from Caspian Report, from Moon's channel, all those history channels. There's a bunch of other ones that I watch, but I can't remember some of their names right now. How Money Works is another big one that I've covered a bunch of times. They're all very informative channels, and they could be AI driven. You just have no idea. Like that doesn't necessarily mean that's their voice. Probably is their voice, but you would actually never know because you can also hire humans to literally do your voiceover. You just feed them a script and then you work with a guy and then you can lock in a contract if your channel gets big enough. And then boom, you have a voice actor that you're employing and you'll always sound natural. But AI has come long or far enough, and on a longer time frame, it will get damn near perfect. There are currently still some issues, but most 90% of the issues got ironed out. Some of the voices that you could choose, especially with these updated models, have become incredibly good, and it's very hard to hear that perceptible AI-ness in the voices anymore. It takes a while to find some. They're constantly updating the algorithms, and it does tweak some of the voices. Some good ones I've had to let go because something happened with the tweak where the voice sounds extremely strange. So that does happen, and it could ruin your channel. But going back to an example of a successful channel that's doing this. This is one that I've been following and watching closely myself. He just posted a video, for example, we could see here, it's 6 days ago. I'll read out the numbers and you could watch it crystal clear later. But this video 6 days ago, he had 658,000 views. 2 weeks ago, 136. 3 weeks ago, 196. 4 weeks ago, 152. And not all of his videos hit because a month ago, he tried something weird, I guess. AI stocks the new tech CEOs. He only got 35,000. Only 35,000, by the way, is not bad at all. And he had one with, I guess he tried to go in a completely different direction. So this is just an example of what happens when you try to get out of your niche that you're building. All announced at Apple event in 10 minutes, he only got 7,000 views. When he went back to his normal style that you notice here, which is essentially this Google thumbnail thing. You notice he has Google in the thumbnail constantly. Those are the videos that are his big hitters. And he's using the Google look. I mean, he has like 3-4 videos in a row. He's putting NVIDIA, something like that on the front, something different. All the ones, even your thumbnail actually affects the performance of your channel in a sense. This is how tuned the algorithm is. Because you had Google on the front of your thumbnail, when you put Google on the front of your thumbnail again with very similar words and titles, you get shown to the very same audience that clicked on that Google video, the topic that you had from the beginning. He only has 110 videos, and he's probably gotten, how many views now? He has 10 million views. So if each view averages, or I should say each million views, let's just say averages $5,000, then obviously he's made a little over $50,000. So, and he's only been at this, he hasn't even been at this that long. He's really been jumping on this. He blew up on this Google stuff in the last year. So this is one channel. I have a bunch that I'm following. I can't remember the names of the other ones. But this is one that is active, that is posting consistently, and that's getting views consistently. So once you click on this video, for example, to see
without compromising
what he's doing, the video is only 8 minutes, 45 seconds long. You don't need to make a 30-minute video. It doesn't have to be full of filler and verbose. It just has to be poignant and concise and full of information, and maybe tugging on the heartstrings of people a little bit here and there. So we'll just play the beginning here. You could see what his intro
Microsoft,
like.
Amazon, Google, and almost every tech company you can imagine have tried to replace humans with AI.
This week, Microsoft announcing it is laying off nearly 4% of its workforce.
The CEO of Amazon telling the company's employees that some of their jobs will be replaced by AI.
In recent years, companies have laid off huge numbers of workers.
The new year is not starting off on a happy note for workers at some of the countries.
So I want you to notice the style. It's got nice, energetic music. This is how you should be looking at this stuff. Nice, energetic music. It starts right away with the action of a news report. Then it went into his voiceover for a quick second, then back into the action of a news report, and then his voiceover will then start.
Largest tech companies.
This was because companies were overconfident about their AI and automation developments.
Amazon is warning its employees that the company will have a smaller workforce in the future because of generative AI and agents.
However, it seems that companies are quietly backpedaling.
And another thing that you guys don't notice that he's doing, that you haven't caught on to, if you look at the top right here, this is how good Google is and YouTube at recommending videos. He posted this 6 days ago and he got nearly 700,000 views. On the top right here of my screen, there's a video called Replacing Humans with AI is Going Horribly Wrong. His video is titled Why Replacing Humans with AI is Going Horribly Wrong. Are you starting to see what's happening here? Are you understanding how he's getting discovered in the algorithm? Okay. That was 3 weeks ago, got 1.4 million views. Then Bernie Sanders' AI could wipe out the working class, 1.1 million views. And then he, as of 6 days ago, literally retitled the video that got 1.4 million views. And because the people that watch that video are interested in these words, replacing humans with AI going horribly wrong, YouTube's algorithm thinks that you will be interested in similar videos to that. So he made a video that is good enough quality and got the attention of all the people who watched Cold Fusion. This is that channel. And they literally clicked on this dude's channel, and all he's doing, this is called trend jacking. This is how he's getting views right now. So if we click on this Cold Fusion video.
Welcome to another episode of Cold Fusion. Since 2023, the fast food chain Taco Bell introduced artificial intelligence at over 500 locations. They're finally scrapping it. AI.
So Cold Fusion, 5 million subscribers, and it could be a fucking faceless channel for all you know.
It's excellent at doing more with less. It speeds up processes, cuts down repair. Also caught blatant.
There you go. So he jacked a faceless channel, jacked another faceless channel. One may be AI powered. This one, Cold Fusion, might be a real person because it looks like he's, to get 5 million subs, he's probably an older channel. But you can see here how you do the trend jacking. And if we go back to the Economy Media video and just let it play out a little bit, notice the pacing, notice the music, and notice the information.
The CEO of Klarna said AI would replace half his workforce in just a few years. And Klarna eventually reduced its workforce by 40%. But in 2025, Sebastian flipped that narrative on its head. He publicly stated that Quality human support is the way of the future for us.
In fact, leaked internal data indicate that problem resolution times increased by 27%, while unsatisfactory interactions grew by 35% in the first 3 months after implementation. Failures included incorrect approval of leave requests and inadequate responses to internal conflicts. This showed that AI is more effective in structured tasks than in processes requiring contextual judgment. Similarly, Taco Bell experimented with an automated voice system in 500 locations. However, the company had to limit its implementation due to errors in orders and billing, which affected customer experience and
An editor at $100 can do this graphic here in no time. This is literally, it's like a plugin that you could buy that helps you make these.
operational efficiency.
I don't know if either of you two have interacted with an AI chatbot customer service thing, but it is a nightmare. I was stuck in like a chatbot death loop of like trying to get it to do what I want. Eventually I had to, you know what, pick up a phone and call a human being.
Duolingo implemented its system called AI First to replace part of contractors.
And you see, you get the gist of what the video is like. It's very good. He just has good timing on where he's putting in these videos, which he's sourcing, right? This is an interview from CNBC. The other one that had the nice graphics here with Klarna literally was Klarna's graphic about how they're moving through in their business investments for the future. And then the rest is just literally, you know,
not be as helpful as some
these little news clips inserted here, mixed in with his script. So if you can imagine, when you take out all the clips, really, he probably has 6 minutes of footage himself that he edited, maybe even less. He's doing it in a very smart way where he is speeding up the editing time by only needing to edit as little as possible, which is good because all these sources make your video naturally more authoritative. So for some people, they're looking at this and going, fuck, dude, editing's so hard. It doesn't have to be. And if you can't afford a guy for, say, $100 or don't have the time because you're working 12-hour shifts, you can hire someone on Fiverr to do something like this. And it's very easy to just show them, hey, this is the channel. This is the style I want. I want you to do all this. And they'll go and find all the clips and make all the relevant insertions where they need to be. And all you need to do is give them directions.
expect.
Organizational impact is
You see
also
how the voice
reflected
goes
in
in, yeah.
employee turnover. Companies that implemented AI without human supervision experienced an average increase of 22% in voluntary turnover during.
So you get the gist of what this looks like. And no, look, it's funny. It says AI voiceover while talking about AI taking jobs is diabolical. So people know it's AI. They're not bothered by the fact that this is AI. When you make videos like this, people think like there's, you know, that uncanny feeling of listening to AI. Like, oh, the moment I hear AI, I turn it off. That's not what people do all the time. The views alone tell you that people don't do that. If it's slop, if the voiceover sucks, if the scripting is shit, if any part of the video is bad in that sense, people will not watch your content. This is the simple thing that you need to hit. Have a good script and a good voice and decent editing, and you're there. That's it. This is all you need. And nobody will get tired of whatever it is that you're making. But people, inevitably, when they get into this and they try to reproduce it, they half-cock everything. They will pick a voice that sounds like shit and maybe run out of credits or don't feel like people won't notice. People will notice. Okay? And they'll skimp on the editing and try to put absolutely garbage B-roll in there that looks like complete shit. Or they don't take their time with editing. Or they'll use absolutely horrible music. Or the scripting is just horrible. If you don't even have the script is the foundation of everything, and then you shine it up with a good voice. So if you don't even script properly, if you have something that's just like machine gunning people's ears to death with stats and citations, you're going to lose them. If it doesn't seem informative enough, if it's just like slop, filler words, constantly repeating points that were already made, you're just going to lose people. You have to learn how to tell a story. And the AI bots are very easy at telling stories right now, especially when you follow the guide. It's very easy. And I even have like a little format, a template for you guys to enter in that it can spit out a very decent first draft for you. And then you can make a channel and literally post it. Now, something that you'll have to wait on is results. It's very rare that you post a video and within 1 day, it just blows up. 2 days, it blows up. It took me 2 weeks. 2 weeks. I posted the same video with just different editing styles. on 3 separate channels, all fresh, all started from scratch, no seasoning and authority building, none of that. And it took 2 weeks on each one to finally get discovered in the algorithm. And I did what this guy did. I literally trend jacked a video that had gotten 2.4 million views on whatever the topic was. And I took his video just like this. If you look, I should have this option here. I have YouTube Summer up here. This is an app. It's in the guide on how to get it. And you literally just click the down arrow here. And I have the entire script of this video, the transcript. YouTube transcribes every single word spoken. And then you just hit it again to copy the plain transcript. And I can send that into the AI. This is how lazy you can get with this stuff to at least start. You copy the script, paste it in the AI, say, hey, this is my rough draft. I need you to rewrite this in a unique way. Read it, take out some parts, include some parts, do whatever you want. You could do just an easy rewrite and say more emotion, more storytelling, less numbers or more numbers, or it doesn't matter. It's whatever style you want. But take notes when you're watching the videos of say a competitor that you're looking to knock off or copy. Take notes, like how often are they switching between the scenes? Count. How often? Look at this type of music that they're using. Is it high energy? Is it like chill elevator music? What is it? All right, look at their intros. What did they do in the first 60 seconds? In the first 15 seconds? How do they get people's attention? Did he start with a question? Right? Did he jump straight into the action? Once you reproduce that on paper, you're going to have what you call a formula, right? This is your framework that you're going to copy. So you take his entire script here and you'll literally throw it in to whatever AI you want to use. I personally prefer Claude. And so we can copy this, for example. Let's just do that really quick. We'll just copy this. Let me pull up Claude.
Isn't Claude $300 a month?
No. I mean, you're going to need to get the one that's $100 a month, but no, you don't need. Grok is the $300 one. I think Claude's most expensive is $200, but that's not needed. And I think you might be able to get by with a $20 a month one also. But for me, I prefer the 100 because I'm using it all the time. Just on every day, like daily driver, talking about shit too. So here we go. So I got Claude here, and then we copy paste that transcript. It gets pasted down here, and you could literally say, this is my rough draft for YouTube. I want you to rewrite this to be viral. And we could start off with just that's simply that. Analyze it for its strength and weaknesses. That's it. Boom. We just hit that in the AI, and then he's just analyzing the script. You can click here and see what he's thinking. It says analyze its strengths, rewrite it to be more viral. Strengths, it's timely, it's a relevant topic, it's a good example. Tesla, CLA, Duolingo, data-driven with specific statistics, shows both sides, failures and potential. Concrete case study. So you're getting an idea while you're watching how it's thinking through this. Exactly, you're getting insights on things that you should look for, right? Pacing, the weaknesses, the hook could be stronger, more shocking. Pacing is slow, takes too long to get to the main point. Too many statistics dumped at once, lacks emotional storytelling. Missing strong personal anecdotes, no clear narrative arc, ending is weak, anticlimactic, missing viral elements like controversy, surprise, or strong emotional hooks, too formal or academic tone in places, blah, 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 blah. For viral content, I should focus on a stronger hook, better pacing, more emotion, pattern interrupts, controversial or surprising angles, clear narrative structure, stronger call to action, blah, blah, blah. So he's analyzing here. He spit out in green checks the strengths, then the weaknesses. He says the hook is a critical issue. Opens with generic, companies are using AI. Everybody knows this. No shock value or controversy in the first 10 seconds. Okay, great. So then he does the viral rewrite right here. We don't like that it gave us these little timestamps, right? I say, I don't want timestamps. Please write this in paragraph form, as I'll put it in 11 labs. There you go. So now he's just going to write this in paragraph form. Okay. And then he started here. And his beginning is 55% of companies that fired humans for AI now regret it. So that is a strong start. If we go to the video, how did the video start this off?
Tesla, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and almost every tech company you can imagine have tried to replace humans with AI.
This week.
That's a very strong start too, actually. So both of these are strong starts because you could do 55% of companies that fired humans for AI now regret it. And then the editing that brings this out can show all the logos of the big tech companies. And it keeps going. And they're quietly hiring them back. Tesla lost millions. Duolingo's lessons got so bad, users quit in droves. So I'll just put this beginning in here. And I'll use the voice that I've been using on my channel and a couple of other ones. And let's get that going here. And so just so you guys can hear what this shit sounds like. So I'm doing this live, how I would do it offline for my actual channel. So this is 11 Labs. I have a voice here called Jeremy that I found, and we're going to generate the speech. I prefer male voices.
55% of companies that fired humans for AI now regret it, and they're quietly hiring them back. Tesla lost millions. Duolingo's lessons got so bad, users quit in droves. CLA went from AI will replace half our workers to human support is the future in less than 2 years. This is the story of the most expensive hiring mistake in tech history.
So that's one good generation. I could take that right now and put it in the video. Let's see what number 2 did.
55% of companies that fired humans for AI now regret it, and they're quietly hiring them back. Tesla lost millions. Duolingo's lessons got so bad, users quit in droves. CLA went from AI will replace half our workers to human support is the future in less than 2 years. This is the story of the most expensive hiring mistake in tech history.
Talk to me. How good is that? Do you see how good it's gotten? It's very emotive. There's nothing robotic. It sounds like a real person is reading that. And I'll let him keep speaking.
Picture this. You're a customer service agent. You've worked at your company for 3 years. You know every product, every workaround, every angry customer script. Then your manager calls you in. We're going in a different direction. The AI chatbot will handle your workload now. This happened to 3,000 people at CLA alone, 2,800 at Telstra, hundreds at Duolingo. The promise? AI would be faster, cheaper, never call in sick. The reality? An absolute disaster.
There you go. So that was one quick generation, 2 probably real good ones. They speak with slightly different cadences, but as you can tell, you add music on top of that, some nice distracting graphics, some cool B-roll, and you've got a fully fleshed out script with a voice that's ready to go for editing like this.
But some new research shows
Intervention can resolve incidents immediately. Despite these challenges, AI can be complementary if implemented strategically. 80% of leaders plan to train their employees.
You see? And we have a very good voice with nice emotion built into it. And we would be ready to rock right now. So you would go in here and you would take literally this entire script that I just made in fucking seconds with you guys. And you would copy paste it from top to bottom. And if you say, you know, this script appears a little too short, you would need to do around, let's just say, I mean, he only had 8 minutes. I typically do around 1,200 words, but you could do less than that. And we could put this in Word just to check how long it is actually. And let me do that here. It's 745 words. Yeah, so 745 words plus some clips thrown in, plus some clips in the middle. You have your 8-minute video done. This is literally the similar length script this guy used. This, with 745 words, I think you would only use, let me double check. Let me see if I put, how many generations would I need if I copy this? Because you have a 3,000 character limit. So that's 2952 out of 3,000, 2 generations. It would only cost you 2 generations. So we could generate this entire block in one go, and it'll sound good without fucking up. And then I would generate one more time the entire bottom block in one go, and that's it. Now I spend the rest of the time searching for nice news clips. And how easy is it? Because you literally just have to search on YouTube, hey, you know, like AI companies replacing workers, or white collar crashing because AI, you know, Google mass firings in tech, blah, 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 blah. And you'll find a ton of news clips to take from. Find the ones with the most energy, the craziest stats, start piecing that shit together, and you're done. You can do this all yourself if you just learn very, very basic editing, right? It might take you a while to do these little basic graphics with numbers, but like I said, there are plugins you can buy that are already pre-programmed to do this, and you literally just change the numbers and what the letters say, and they appear on the screen just like this, and you just input, you just change shit. This is very, very worth it for a lot of people. This is going nowhere. More and more videos will be like this. What happens is people make the mistake of thinking that they're too late to the game, that somehow, for some reason, you cannot reproduce this. Or if you do, it doesn't matter because saturation is so high and everybody's doing this. It doesn't matter that it's so easily accessible. It matters that most people will not produce a product worth watching. The vast majority will put out garbage. The difference here is we have a system through the guide. If you follow it, you will produce something that is actually of quality. The only thing, your script will be good, and make sure you have a good voice. All you have to do is nail the editing. That's it. And the editing bar is very low as is for these videos. You're not doing custom graphics that cost a lot of money. This is where they charge you like $600 something. So
where do the graphics come from?
They're custom made. You mean like these, like the ones I was just showing where you could buy the plugins? You could just search for plugins,
yeah, I guess
graphical plugins for whatever you're using. Let's just say I use DaVinci, for example, as an editor. Just say DaVinci plugins for text styles, lower thirds, YouTube packs, shit like that. And they'll have like millions of them. It'll come up on Google.
Sorry, that part I get. I was looking at the short video clips, like they were pulling it off the news or something. Where do they get those from?
YouTube.
So they're copying other YouTube content.
What do you mean when you're watching on shorts, the news clips? Like the news clips of Fox and stuff and CNN and whatever when they're reporting?
No, sorry, that was just an example. But like in the video that you just showed, there were, various cuts of people talking and
just grab that off YouTube. Like if Joe Rogan was saying something about AI with a guest, then you just grab that snippet of like 7 seconds, whatever, of them talking about AI, and you drop that in your video, and that increases engagement because it's like, oh, there's Joe Rogan. Oh my God, they're freaking out about AI. Grab another one from like a Fox News segment. It's like, oh, 30,000 people just got fired from Meta. News report about this. Grab another one where they're interviewing somebody like you did at CNBC, where they're talking about AI layoffs, something like that. And you pepper these throughout your video. You just grab these all. You could download them off YouTube.
And then the copyright issues, there's if it's under 8 seconds, then you don't have to pay royalty.
There's no copyright issues unless you're actively taking something like, say, The Simpsons or whatever. Like that'll trigger past 7 seconds. But news stuff is very safe. You can grab an entire news segment if you want it and repost it. News companies don't come after you. But 7 seconds, 8 seconds is clearly, it's like 100% the safe mark where you can grab copyrighted content. But news is not copyrighted. So grabbing something off Fox or off CNN and taking 20 seconds and using that as your intro or your opener or, a bunch of things like that, you're fine. But if you're going to grab stuff from like shows, movies, shit like that with strong copywriting, then 7 seconds max and you'll be fine. So you could grab little scenes from movies and then quickly move on to the next thing. But if you're going to jack
and your Fiverr editor is finding and clipping those and putting them in?
He's doing, for $100, he does everything. I touch nothing. I literally just gave him a video today. I did in like 10 minutes. I dropped it in the little Google Drive and I was like, hey, I got another one for you. Boom, paid him $100. He's already working on it. In 3 days, he'll be done. I have another one working on another one and another one working on another one. And then I'm going to build a team of like 5 to 10 of these guys where I can get up to one video every single day because they don't take long. I can do this over coffee. Once you get this system in place, you can literally get this done with a coffee while you're drinking it, waking up in the morning, checking emails, all that stuff. And then you send it off to the editors. This is my preferred route because I'm strapped for time. Otherwise, I would just edit my own shit. But I just don't have time to edit. I have other things. But for other people that your time may be strapped to, then do it this way. $100 is more than enough. And go find and build a team of editors that edit exactly how you like. They all offer revisions. So if you don't like something, you can just make notes and tell them, hey, minute 37 didn't like this. Hey, can we change this? Hey, this, that, there. Hey, on their video, they did this. We didn't. Can we add something like that in? Blah, blah, blah. And then what happens is you build a working relationship, and then they start to understand like what you want, what you're looking for, and you won't need to guide them anymore. So I have the
And are
editors off
these-
of Fiverr. They know exactly. I don't even give directions anymore. I just send them a video and that's it.
Are these North Koreans?
No, some are Pakistani, some are Eastern European, one's American. They're kind of all over the place. Yeah.
Okay.
They're all cheap. They're all because these videos don't actually take much skill to do. They can't really charge a lot because there's guys that'll charge you $20. I mean, they do a shitty job, but the market is very saturated these days. You can't. Before, people used to charge up the ass, but not anymore. Like the only way you would charge more than $100 is if you're doing some sort of like customized work. So this $100 comes with all of them finding B-roll, the music selection as well. They'll do the music for you. And they'll also find the news clips if you want to use them for intros or peppered throughout the video. They do everything. But you have to do the most important part of all. You need a good script and you need a really good voice. Once you nail those two, the editing part is the easy part. And as you've seen, this is already very easy.
Is paying them a tax write-off too?
If it's through a business, then of course, because it's considered an expense.
Okay.
Yep.
And then does it matter if you have different videos and different subjects, but it's all financial, or does it have to be on the same company?
You can do on whatever you want. If it has, like, for example, his is called Economy Media, so he's probably doing all finance related stuff, economy. But what's important is once you pick a video I think the easiest way to start for everybody is just find a video that's already fucking got millions of views in the last couple of weeks. It's a trending topic. Just fucking reproduce it differently. Make sure it's quality from the get-go. Don't. What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing? Hope you had a good week. Got some crazy headlines today. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of what we're doing in the private community. I know when I mentioned there's a lot of people that were super interested in, changing the course of their lives with this AI stuff. And some people had questions. The faceless AI channel stuff isn't exactly slop like everybody's thinking. What it is you're actually creating really good content depending on the topic that you're covering. Of course, you could go into the entertainment route and do complete slop if you'd like to, but you can't really mass produce this kind of content like the AI slop content that YouTube banned earlier. YouTube was banning the kind of slop like essentially mass produced, like they'll rip off stuff from Reddit, like horror stories or whatever. A horrible sounding AI will just read out loud the entire text of what was in the story. Sounds horrible, and it's a static image the entire video. Zero editing, nothing. So that low effort stuff is exactly what they targeted. Now, if you do stuff like Moon's channel, like I mentioned, if you do things like Caspian Report, How Money Works. I mean, everybody has like a favorite channel that they watch. That's usually a faceless channel. And it's almost like, they do mini documentaries or reports on things, stuff like that. That stuff's never getting banned. And honestly, until AI came about, you wouldn't have any idea. Now that AI got released, everything seems like AI. That's an AI voice. That's an AI voice. But the voices have gotten so good that it's imperceptible now. So you can't actually tell. Now, having said that, if you wanted to know more, some of the nuances or get into the full guide, it is available in the private community. If you're interested in that, there's people that are doing really well. And I'll share with you guys just so you could see like how much money you could make with this stuff. Let me exit out of this.
Danny Thornton.
So here's what it looks like, for example. This one was posted October 7th. Let me share the screen. So this is a October 7th video, which you're looking at right here. And what it's showing you is for 271,000 views, and this amount of watch time. Really, it's the watch time that's important, not the views. But let's just say you can average that out. It's $1,000. $1,000. And I showed you just now how to make this happen. Now, what that Economy Media was the example we were using. What that guy did, he literally ripped a video off of another channel called Fusion. And that's how he did it. He just reworded the title and done. And he had something like 670,000, 700,000 views. So he got easily like $2,500 off something that probably took him 30 minutes to make. Okay, maybe longer when you throw in editing and looking for clips and all that stuff, but around 30 minutes to an hour. And that's all it takes. There are people making a ton of money doing it, way more than what I'm even quoting you. There are guys making tens of thousands, $20,000, $30,000 a month, you guys, doing this stuff. I'm just trying to open your eyes to what's actually possible. When you stop doing that stupid thing people do, like, well, I don't know if anybody would want to watch what I have to say in case you'd want to show your face on camera. Or, you know, but there's so much saturation in the market, competition. I don't know if I could enter this late. It's all bullshit. You are assuming you know what the audience watches. You're assuming so much. You assume that you know people's behaviors while they're watching video. Most people don't even watch the actual video. Most people are playing something in the background while they're running errands, working, doing whatever it is that they're doing during the day, studying perhaps. It doesn't matter. Literally at work, working, and they have something. Just get into this stuff, dude. It costs you next to nothing to try. This is the cheapest business that you can start up today. You just need a $20 subscription to an AI thing, another like $10, $20 subscription to a AI voiceover, and then you can edit it yourself. Or you pay someone to edit it for literally $100 on Fiverr. That's all it costs, because a lot of people were asking me before, hey, how do you edit these videos? I'm not technical. I don't know how to edit. You don't even need people to, you don't need to know how to edit yourself, excuse me. You could hire somebody off Fiverr for $100. Editors will find all the videos that you need. They will make you that intro with the newsreels. They'll look for them. They will literally top to bottom, A to Z, do your video for you. You just give them directions. And like you saw, one video that could get you, say, $1,000, it cost you $100 to make, and you can do it over coffee, excuse me. That's it. Guys, it's possible. It just seems impossible because, you know, starting the process over from scratch, it seems like it's a cliff. It's something you can't climb. I'm telling you, if you just take your time to learn the very basics and get this process down, and you will, like the way I have the guide structured in the private community, is you will put out quality shit that people want to watch because the script is incredible. Just picking the correct voice for your videos, and that's it. Have somebody edit them at the $100. And you can make this happen. Or you edit them yourself if you want to learn the process. You'll be saving $100 every video. There are quite a few guys that are actually skilled in editing and rather do the work themselves. And honestly, that's nice because you have granular control over whatever it is that you're doing. But don't think that, you know, this is somehow difficult to achieve. It's not. It's just what's difficult is convincing yourself that you can do it. That's unfortunately the problem of most people today. So I need a tea. Let me text my woman to give me a tea. 1 second. Says, what's funny is this guy is the one who turned me on to using AI as a tool to make some money about a year ago. It works. Exactly. What do I make a month on average off this site? Over 20 easy. Yeah. Let me play that.
Yuking $5. I'll do this after the holidays. Gotta help Big Daddy Bezos fund his next $50 million wedding.
Big Daddy Bezos fund his next 50 mil wedding. Yeah. Dude, he bought like 100 No, $500 million yacht, or he built something like that. I don't know. It's insane. Dude, these rich people, you guys, they live lives that we can't even fathom. I mean, there's levels to this shit. People think I make a lot of money. There's just Christ, dude. There's people that literally shit millions, literally on the toilet. They're shitting millions. Yeah, it's pennies. You don't know what's truly possible in your life until you hang around very wealthy people who are earning a ton of money. And then they begin to normalize what's possible in your life to you. Somebody will show you like how they make $1 million a year, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, making $1 million a year is actually really simple. What the fuck? Why didn't I ever achieve this? Why didn't I never attempt? Why didn't I think about money in this way? You have to hang around these people. And if you don't hang around these people, figure out a way to hang around these people. When you get around people that have that kind of mentality or that kind of lifestyle, seriously, you are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with. If you hang around people that are complaining, that are broke, that constantly bitch, that don't do shit, smoking fucking weed, gaming all day, all that stuff, you will be a byproduct of those 5 people. I'm telling you. It's just like when you say to a woman, you know, if she's got hoe friends, she's probably a hoe herself, right? Birds of a feather flock together, as they say. So be very careful. Yes. We'll start the sweet one. Thank you. Oh, it's hot. Okay. Thank you. Want the fresh tea on deck. Okay. Welcome in, everybody. So, there was a thread on Reddit. I actually somebody mentioned, and this is how I caught wind of this. I went viral on Reddit, you guys. So, I think it was, I don't know how many streams ago it was, but I'm sure everybody here who tunes into the streams daily, you do remember, correct? The Sweden forced integration monologue I did a few weeks ago about the migrants that were being placed in the Swedish homes, whether the locals wanted them or not. Well, apparently, somebody actually mentioned it, that it went viral on Reddit, and I went over there to read it. And it was some leftist right on Reddit posting it in a thread, and it was titled something like, there's a lot of propaganda, or is there a lot of propaganda in falsehoods about your country online? And they were linking my video directly. So the video I did essentially was spreading far-right misinformation, and that was proof to them. And when you look through the comment section, it was exactly what you'd expect. Far-right, loon, Trump tard, Trump lover, MAGA, maggot propagandist. Sweden is literally a utopia, and everyone saying otherwise is a racist and spreading lies. That's Reddit in a nutshell for you. And if you've been paying attention online, that aged like fucking milk that's been in the sun for 10 years, okay? It turned into some fucking mold. Because the story just broke from Sweden. That's so fucking wild, dude. So grotesque that even Reddit progressive shitheads have to confront what their ideology creates. Though they probably won't, because we know what it's like. Requiring, or I should say, that would require admitting they're evil. And, you know, their fucking Reddit brains, their leftoid brains cannot process that without breaking apart in, you know, a million pieces. Their worldview shatters around them. So, September 1st, you have this poor girl. A 16-year-old Maya Aberg was walking home, right, from her McDonald's shift, missed her bus, cuts through a pedestrian tunnel when an 18-year-old Eritrean refugee named Yazid Mohammed, shocker, grabs her, drags her down, takes her phone, pins her to the ground, and rapes her while she's fighting to get away. Not a new story for Sweden. One of many. She breaks free. She runs home crying. You know, family reports the shit immediately because they believe in the system. And good old Mohammed, he gets arrested and convicted of rape and sentenced to 3 years in prison. Only 3 years. But wait, because it gets way worse. Prosecutors asked for deportation because he's a refugee who's raped a Swedish child. And maybe Sweden shouldn't have, you know, been keeping kind of rapists in their country, correct? Right? It seems pretty reasonable that you should deport these people that commit heinous crimes, like immediately. Okay. Court of Appeal says no. They uphold the conviction, but they reject deportation. And here's the part that made me read it like 5 times. I couldn't even believe what I was seeing. Swedish judges actually put this in writing. They said the rape, or rape in general, in many cases is serious enough for deportation, but given the nature and duration of this specific incident, it didn't constitute an exceptionally serious offense, warranting removal from the country. The duration, you guys, the duration. The Swedish judges with stopwatches now, that's what we got. Stopwatch judges that are timing how long a 16-year-old was raped to determine what qualifies for deportation. Like they're judging a fucking Olympic event where the rapist didn't quite make the threshold for the time and he gets to stay. This is the West. Okay? Didn't last long enough, Muhammad? You get to stay, bro. It's all good. Just remember, guys, 5 minutes or less, and Sweden is ripe for the taking. Get your blonde woman, anyone you want, 5 minutes or less. Yeah? What is the fucking threshold here? 5 minutes? 10 minutes? Should he have beaten her worse? Should he have done more damage to her body in order to qualify? Is there a manual somewhere in Swedish courtrooms, right, listing exactly how many seconds of rape equals to deportation? Because apparently, however long Muhammad raped Maya Aberg, that's her name, Aberg. I hope I'm saying that right, because I'm going to say her name often here instead of saying she. Well, the court decided, right, that he gets to stay because it wasn't long enough. So he's going to collect more welfare after his 3 years, while his victim lives in terror for the rest of her life and in fear of running into him. And it keeps getting worse. I'm sorry to say, but it keeps getting worse. This isn't some procedural error. One of the appellate panel members was a woman named Lena Berggren. This is a woman from the far left party, right, whose academic career is studying, you won't believe this, racism and nationalism. And she sat there and decided that the Eritrean refugee who raped a 16-year-old Swedish girl gets to stay because the assault wasn't long enough. A far left judge, and a female judge. So much for sticking up for women. We have a woman who was presumably, or we should say, spent her entire career, her life, benefiting from feminist movements that fought to protect women from male violence. And she looked at a 16-year-old victim and thought protecting her multicultural fantasy mattered more. This spiteful academic cunt, and that's putting it a nice way, because if you look at her, she looks exactly like you would expect. This young 16-year-old woman, this young girl, versus they have a picture on X next to what the judge looks like, and it is exactly what you would think. Exactly. You have young, beautiful woman, and then you have absolute harpy, hag, cave troll. So she looks at a destroyed child and saw an opportunity to prove her anti-racist credentials, and then to sacrifice this girl on the altar of her ideology without a second thought, because Maya, I think her name was, Aberg, right, doesn't validate Berggren's worldview, but protecting refugee rapists does. And this is the problem with all these leftists, is that the locals don't matter because they're considered privileged. So Berggren looks exactly like fucking she sounds. Berggren probably went home that night feeling proud of herself, right, for standing up to racism. Probably told her colleagues over wine about her brave decision, right, she made to protect a vulnerable refugee from deportation. She probably sleeps really fine at night. And she knows that a 16-year-old has been condemned to a lifelong trauma, and that person might actually run into a rapist at her grocery store just a few years later, because Berggren's diseased mind thinks that refugee rights are more important than Swedish daughters. Do you understand what this means here? We cannot coexist with leftists. I'm starting, literally, there's I think a voice in my head that grows louder every day. We cannot coexist with these people. I'm starting to develop an idea that I'd rather be around nationalists and far-right people of every race and creed. I can trust a pro-black, a black nationalist, Asian nationalist, white nationalist, any nationalist of any creed, race, whatever, I can trust because I know their intentions are pure, simple, and out there for everybody else. They want to do right for their people and get their people ahead. That's respectable. But a BLM black, a white leftist, a white liberal, these people are literal enemies of their own kind. A white liberal destroys white culture the most. A black liberal destroys more black lives than anything else. I could be on the side of a pro-black, of a black nationalist, because I know I can have a straightforward conversation. They want strong families. They want fathers in the neighborhoods, in the households. They want jobs, a good economy, and a future for their children. That's considered radical. I can handshake with that man and work on building a future together. But with these leftists, you can't. They have no soul. They are demon-possessed, these creatures. They're sick in their heads. They say one thing and then ignore the reality around them of what's happening. So you have this barren ideological ghoul of a woman who's wearing robes, considering herself a judge that has decided her academic theories about nationalism being bad were more valuable than this child's safety. Can you imagine that? And the Swedish system gave her the power to enforce this decision. This poor girl. So Maya, her youth was stolen. Her purity got stolen. Her innocence stolen, destroyed by an Eritrean savage who the Swedish elites, in this case, decided deserves protection because deporting him might look racist. And looking racist, you guys, is worse than letting children suffer. This is what the leftists want. I saw another headline today. This one was in America. So while we're laughing at Sweden, in America, 2 African migrants also raped a 16-year-old, I believe she was. I don't remember. A 16-year-old in Utah, and were given something like probation. Look it up. And this poor girl, by the way, there's an interview of her on X, and she's describing what happened to her and how the justice system failed her. And she missed more than half of her school year, you guys, because she kept seeing Muhammad at school. Hear me on it. She got assaulted and then sees him at school. Nobody separated them. Her education was destroyed along with everything else. While he just about went life, unhinged, or I should say, unbothered by anything until the trial. So he actively assaulted somebody, and until the trial, they were forced to be essentially together in the same school. Wow. So, and now after 3 years, because that's all he got sentenced to, he's going to be released back into her town, and she has to live knowing all of that because some Swedish judges measured how long he raped her and decided it wasn't serious enough. So within 3 years, he's going to be back out on the streets. Go fuck yourself. Imagine being the father of this woman. Imagine being the mother of this woman. Imagine being in the community. And they tried very hard to hide this story. Very hard. And their family, they're doing everything they can for her. They're doing fundraisers right through charities for therapy. That's going to cost tens of thousands of dollars for her because the trauma is so severe. She's going to need professional help, guys. And this is something that lasts for a lifetime. Probably, yeah, her entire life. It's not like rape victims are just going to get over it because some bitter academic decided that the assault was, not long enough to matter. Do you think in her mind it wasn't long enough to be a big deal? Think about that, dude. Maya's family is now begging for charity money to pay for therapy trauma that the Swedish judges decided wasn't serious enough to remove the man that caused it. They're funding their daughter's psychological treatment. This is crazy. While her rapist was funded by Swedish taxpayers after his release, he's living on welfare in the same town as the victim because Lena, the fucking ghoul Berggren, thought that is justice in her leftist deranged brain. And those same fucking Reddit leftists that were calling my Swedish reporting propaganda, where are they now? Where are they now? Still in their echo chambers. They're still doubling down, right? Explaining probably the excuses. This is a one-time incident, you guys. It's isolated incidents, just like peaceful protest, right? Now, the real story is Swedish racism, how we need more integration programs instead of deportations. Just remember, ladies, wear the little Nazi patch on your hand that says, please don't touch me there. This is my no-no patch. And then go and have bacon and eggs and muffins with the local drug dealers in the gangs so that you can convince them through a talk and some massages that it's better to lead a straight life than the gang criminal life. Sweden is a fucking joke of a country. Literally, these smug, and for all of them in total, the entire smug progressive cocksuckers, all of them who will call people like me a liar, that are defending a system that destroyed Maya's life, and they know it, but admitting they were wrong would shatter their entire identity. These enlightened humanitarians, as they like to call themselves. So they'll keep fucking lying and gaslighting all of us. We see what's happening in our streets. The women are screaming for help. It's even bad for the boys. I'll read a story in a little bit about that too, because they're being humiliated. They have humiliation robberies. Dude, Sweden has taken in over 2.5 million immigrants since 2015 in a country of 10 million people. And 63%, the numbers are so horrible, 63% of the convicted rapists are foreign-born or second generation, and 73% of stranger rapes involves non-native perpetrators, according to Sweden's own crime stats. And those are only the crime stats that they're reporting, because the rest would be too racist to report on. Remember from the last one, they have a special designation for crimes when it involves non-Swedes in order to bury the numbers so the statistics don't seem worse than they actually are. But pointing that out makes you far right, apparently, in their eyes, even when Swedish courts are literally timing rapes to determine deportation eligibility. Can you, dude, I'm telling you, when I read that, we're at a point in Europe where literally they made a meme about it as a police officer just sitting there with a stopwatch while a woman's getting assaulted. This is where we are. They're gaslighting us this hard. This is treason. These judges should be put to death. They are directly responsible. Once that kid gets out in 3 years, he's a grown-ass man, 18 years old, who assaulted an underage woman. Once he gets out in 3 years, if he does it again, and if he kills somebody next time, the judge should be responsible for that. These judges that are soft on crime should be held responsible for every one of these repeat offenders that they're letting out. I think that's more fair than anything else. Make the judges responsible for all this shit. Let me get this Reddit post up too. Anyways, it's a joke. This isn't even unusual to report on anymore. And it's not even unusual based on all the numbers I've been digging up here. In 2019, an Eritrean gang, they raped, listen to this. There were teens that were being held captive for hours. No deportations because integration potential, right? And they were assaulting them. In 2024, you had Afghan and Somali caregivers doing the same thing to elderly people with dementia. We're talking patients in nursing homes. They were raping them too. That's insane, dude. Elderly people with dementia in nursing homes. And they wouldn't deport them because they got their citizenship. This is Sweden, you guys. 2023, Syrian migrant, same shit, with a 15-year-old girl at knife point. He got paroled early after claiming Christianity conversion, which those spineless church cocksuckers actually bought. The Swedish elites have created a system here where the refugee rapists know that they can literally assault Swedish women and girls with minimal consequences as long as they keep it brief enough. Can you imagine this, dude? A 2-pump chump and you're off free. And judges like this Berggren enforce that system while congratulating themselves on their compassion. So your Swedish daughters and everybody else's daughters, where they're bringing in this multiculturalism all around Europe and including the United States, are being assaulted at the helm are the elites that are instituting all these policies, these people that live in these gated communities where they're away from their own horrible, what do you call these? What could you say these are? luxury beliefs that they're imparting and forcing on the rest of society so they can feel morally superior. And those elites are measuring the duration of the rapes to determine which victim deserves justice. We're living in their world, their twisted world. That's evil. Choosing to keep a child rapist in the country because the rape wasn't long enough is an evil decision made by evil people. And this cave troll of a fucking woman, Berggren, is evil, regardless of how many papers she published on racism. I don't give a fuck. That woman looked at the evidence of a 16-year-old being assaulted and decided that her academic theories were more important than the girl's justice. And somewhere deep down, she knows exactly what she did and she's fine with it because Maya's life is destroyed. And that's acceptable price for maintaining the multicultural project in Sweden. And Swedish fathers, dude, what can you say about it? They're watching their daughters become targets while being told that noticing these patterns makes them extremists, makes them far right. And Swedish mothers are literally forced to escort their daughters everywhere, living in constant fear, while politicians say the real problem is xenophobia. Where have we heard that before? As if more funding would have stopped Muhammad from dragging Maya into that tunnel and having his way with her. So what's the message here? If you're a refugee in Sweden and you rape someone, keep it brief, bro. Chump it up. And you probably won't get deported. Okay? Have a stopwatch on you. Make sure your heart rate doesn't get too high. Make sure you let her go after a couple of minutes. And that's great. That's great. This is the deterrent that Swedish judges just created. And every refugee assaulter in Sweden now knows the formula. Couple minutes, not serious enough. You can go around a couple minutes and assault as many women as you want. You will never be deported. We welcome you into our cultural utopia. This is what happens when you're 10 million people and you imported 2.5 million. From cultures no less where women are literal property. And they did nothing to enforce the so-called integration, right? You built a welfare system after inviting these people that literally rewards their dependency. You allowed them to create no-go zones where Swedish law barely applies. And now Swedish women are paying the price while judges like Berggren ensure that perpetrators face zero consequences. Zero. 16 years old, you guys. And you got told that your rape didn't last long enough to warrant justice. How vigilantes don't crop up from cases like this will be a shock to me. I don't know how pacified the Swedes have become, how extreme their pacification is, but if you don't feel a tinge of rage reading headlines like that and looking at that girl's story, I don't even know what to tell you. You have no soul. There's no life behind those eyes. Swedish judges are timing your assault. That's insane. Can you even say that out loud without like, huh? What? Is this an Onion article? Is this the B? And then, you know what's insane? So not only do the Swedish judges time your assault, dude, and they decided you get no justice because it's not serious, but then you have to see him at school, at the store, on the street, released back into your community. Because this fucking piece of shit Berggren decided his refugee status was more important than your safety. This is what those Reddit leftists and leftists in general are defending. One, they're calling me talking about Sweden propaganda. Every time they try to deny the problem, every time they call critics racist, they enable this system that sacrificed Maya. They're not ignorant. They're choosing to deny reality because reality threatens their identity as enlightened cosmopolitans. And Swedish rape victims are acceptable collateral damage for these people, right? They looked at My Sweden piece, for example, and they thought like, this can't be true because if it's true, then we've been wrong about everything. And their egos, there's no way a liberal's egos could handle something like that. So calling me a liar and everybody else who talks about stuff like this far right and brainwashed is how they're able to cope with the bullshit that they have to live with right in front of them all the times. And now we have this Maya, this poor girl, is living proof that they're wrong. Still will not admit it. It's an isolated case. So they'll keep lying. They'll keep calling people like me, like you watching, like anybody else who's against mass immigration, far-right extremists. They will keep defending this system that measures rape duration to determine deportation eligibility. And Swedish girls will keep getting assaulted by these Mohammeds who know that they'll get to stay as long as they're quick enough about it. This is Sweden 2025. Either you think rapists should be deported, or you think timing assaults to keep them brief enough to stay is acceptable policy. And if you think the latter, you're enabling sexual predators and you're hiding behind humanitarian language to justify it. These leftists aren't just wrong, they're complicit. They're cowards who sacrifice Swedish daughters to protect their egos, moral degenerates who value ideological purity more than the safety of their own children. And most of these leftists don't even have children. That's what makes them these spineless worms who will watch girls get raped rather than admit they were wrong about immigration. And judges exactly like the woman, Berggren, are even worse because they have the power to stop this and they choose not to. That woman could have deported Mohammed, could have sent a message that refugee rapists won't be tolerated. You could have protected Maya and every other Swedish girl, but she didn't. She chose her ideology over the girl's safety. And she'll face no consequences for it because the Swedish system rewards her betrayal as enlightened jurisprudence. This is Sweden 2025, living under the Democrat leftist utopia. This is socialism. This is what they do. They reward criminals and punish the innocent. And this is why I say the voice in my head is getting louder. I don't think that we can coexist with these people. And these are just the cases we know about. So remember, it's not just women. Let me read this real quick. I wanted to, because the story, it just keeps getting worse. So I have it pulled up here. Okay. So what it says is male Swedish teenagers are not in a good situation either. The Muslim immigrants attack them in gangs. They rob them, hold a knife to them, force them to beg for their lives. They beat the Swedish boys, often very brutally, force them to strip naked and urinate on them. To be clear, this is not one case. It is a widespread phenomenon called humiliation robberies. Humiliation robberies. This is what Swedish people have wrought on their own children. Like with Maya's rapist, the sentences are ridiculously lenient. The teenage perpetrators behave like mafiosi, police say. The robberies are a demonstration of power. If the robbers are caught, they laugh at the police because the penalties for the crimes are so insignificant due to the young age of the perpetrators. And it says here, the humiliation robberies have recently caused much consternation in Sweden. In Gothenburg, a criminal gang of youths forced their victims to kiss the gang leader's feet while they filmed him. After that, they stomped on his face until he passed out. In Stockholm, two 16-year-olds robbed, punched, and kicked their 18-year-old victim for hours. At the end of the ordeal, they took him behind a church where one of the perpetrators urinated on him while they called him names such as fucking Swede. They then forced him to take his clothes off while laughing mockingly at him. The victim, only known as Liam, told Swedish TV, the two 16-year-olds filmed the incident and spread it on social media. Keeps going. The parents of one of the perpetrators came to Sweden 6 years ago from an unspecified African country, according to Swedish TV, who interviewed them in February. The parents both work and said their son lacks for nothing. The mother wore a hijab during the interview. It keeps going. A common scenario is that one of the robbers holds a knife pressed against the victim, while the others rob him of his mobile phone, bank card, money, etc. The victim is frightened and dare not do anything but give up the requested items. If he doesn't give up, he'll be beaten, often very brutally. Humiliation of the victims is not infrequently included in the picture. If it's a boy, it is about breaking his self-esteem. He is forced to cry, give up his shoes, even undress naked, kneel, and plead for his life. For the girls, or for the girl victims, sexual. Tribe and train, which way? Which way, Western man? You're going to have to ask yourself. You could one day walk down the street and be a victim. Are you training? Are you going to the gym? Are you going to a sports gym? Are you training boxing, kickboxing, MMA, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu? Do you keep your head on a swivel at night? Hell, even during the day when you're walking around, when you're alone, or do you have your earbuds on? Will you help your fellow brother when he gets in trouble, when he's attacked by one of these savages? The choice was taken away from you when our government started failing our people. Do you understand? So, what I'm saying to all the brothers and sisters out there, do not allow yourself to be a victim. The government will not save you. The justice system will not give you justice. You live in a treasonous era where the leaders of your own country want you erased, want their ideologies pushed at your expense, and will destroy you and everything you love to bring forth their one world utopic government. You will own nothing. You will be happy. We will force you to integrate. I don't care. Whatever they say, the names they give themselves, their motives are clear. You are to be exterminated, to be broken, to the point where you will even stand up morally degraded and shattered. They want to shatter your confidence. If we want to make a change apart from physically getting your mind and your body right, you need to get into the halls of power. I keep telling you this all the time. Read often, engage in civic duties at the local level, move up at the city and the state level, move up into the national to the federal level. If you don't, you will lose your country forever. One man and one woman, doesn't matter, will not change any of this. Your fellow man, your leftist compatriots are selling your country out, your culture out, your people and your history out from up under your feet. The system wasn't designed for people like this on the inside to literally cause a rot and destroy everything our forefathers bled and fought for. They win when you don't care. They win when they've morally broken you. So you accept their degeneracy. They win when they completely shatter any hope you have left. Don't let them do that. Don't let these people get away with crimes like this. Make it uncomfortable for them to support stuff like this. Make it so toxic that anybody that espouses leftist beliefs never comes into power ever again. Or you could be next. Maybe in the future, your daughter could be next. Your grandmother could be next. Your father could be next. Your brother could be brutally beaten, humiliated, pissed on, shared on social media. Didn't even do anything, victimless. Walked around, minded their own business, and it turns into the worst day of your life. These people are animals. These criminals who commit these crimes should be put down like the animals that they are. I don't know why we did away with the death penalty. Savages understand one language only, violence. Play some supers, one sec. Let me chill out, because I'm crashing. I want to crash out so bad right now. Let me chill before I say some real crazy shit. All right. We got to keep it PG for YouTube, you know? Join the private community too, because once we get that number big enough, we could go full fucking rated R and everything. Anyways, let's get these supers. Where are they at?
At Richard Mahabir $5. Keep up the great work. It would be great to see you collab with Fresh and Fit. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you too, brother. Appreciate you.
Fresh Media $4.99. Eating my bug sandwich while I'm watching you. It has great protein. You should try it sometime after AI takes over the world.
Thanks, brother. But I will skip on the bug sandwiches. I just ate a cowboy steak today, and I feel like $1 million fucking dollars. Hitting the gym, working out, hot wife, life's great. I will not be going to bug sandwiches.
At Travis McNett $7,737 $10. Love your content. First time catching live. Hope everyone has a great day.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the 10. About to get your YouTube started? I hope you do, man. It could be life-changing. It doesn't cost much to start. It just takes a little bit of time. It's about the lowest cost business with one of the highest potentials that you could ever get into today. Yeah. I'm going to say crash out on the chat. No, I don't crash out on the chat unless they ask me really stupid questions. I used to crash out sometimes on certain people in the chat that would ask me something about women or some shit like that. And, you know, I had to put on the fucking...
And the bug voice and really going hard.
So, but yeah. Someone said... Collab with Taylor the Fiend? No thanks, dude. I don't like cartoon channels. Yeah. If you don't show your face, I don't fuck with you. You're a coward. Yeah, VTubers are gay as fuck. All right, let's see here. Oh, EBT Americans. EBT Americans. Is that a new term? All right. So I found one here that was doing a compilation that said, I want my EBT. Let's get into it. The leeches of society.
Trump has cut my food stamps from $2,800 down to $350. Now, what am I supposed to do?
I used to get $740 a month for my 2 kids. And we not getting EBT no more. They took the EBT. They saying I gotta work 20 hours a week. I'm not working for nobody. Get the fuck out of here.
I went from having $1,100 EBT every month, and that was just with 4 children, to 0. Now, how the fuck am I gonna feed my children?
Shit. Ah, shit. Shit. Got no more food. Shit.
Fuck am I with our groceries? What is this pumpkin man doing, bro? Why the fuck we gotta starve on Thanksgiving? Are you dead ass, pumpkin man?
What the fuck do you mean that I'm not gonna get my fucking SNAP benefits? What the fuck do you mean?
You're gonna tell me that my daughter doesn't deserve a popsicle? You're gonna tell me I don't deserve to get brownies?
I don't know about the rest of you motherfuckers, but I'm getting my shit. I'm gonna tell you just like this on Jesus Lamar motherfucking Christ. I will be at motherfucking Walmart with my steel toes on and my motherfucking helmet, and I dare a bitch try to stop me from walking out that motherfucking store with my groceries. Baby, I'm 250 pounds solid.
I am going to go in that store, get everything I get regularly. I'm going to bag my shit up, swipe my link card. As soon as that bitch say, ain't no pending balance on there, I'm going to walk the fuck out.
If I don't receive my benefits this month, the food stamps, I feel bad for the motherfucking shop, right? I will just be rolling my cart out that bitch like...
Hey, you know what? It's nice. Let's cut this fucking EBT shit to people that literally are paralyzed. And paralyzed people, old as fuck people that just can't work anymore. And then everybody else, you gotta work. No more EBT for you. And then if you want to loot and rob stores and shit, we'll just put your ass in prison. Fuck all that shit. Just put all these EBT Americans in prison. The moment they start looting. Clean up the streets.
I pay for it.
My people ran out of stores. With the cart, I bet it's gonna be some turkey on my plate.
And I'm having turkey,
ham, mashed potatoes, greens,
all the good shit.
It's gonna all be there. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow.
We gonna loot. We gonna get fucking crazy, right, TikTok? You feel me?
Bro, you just need to go on a diet, G. Do you hear this guy? Do you hear him fucking breathing? Listen to this motherfucker breathe. Look at him. Look at him.
Crazy, right, TikTok?
Right, TikTok? Right, we gonna fucking loot TikTok. Chill the fuck out, bro. Go see a doctor. There's no Thanksgiving stuffing for you. Mashed potatoes are gone. You're about to die. You look like you're 22, but the body is giving 38. You're struggling, guy. Get a job that requires you to move your body for like 8 hours a day minimum, put in overtime, and maybe you'll live to see 45. You need, listen to me. You, guy, don't need EBT. You need extended fasting. Let's go do that. How about you fast for 30 days and reap the benefits of cell autophagy, okay?
You feel me?
If you gotta take
Jesus
that food,
Christ.
go ahead and take it. Just go ahead and take it. Y'all better stay the fuck out of my way in these stores.
Oh
I'm
my
walking
God.
over carts and I'm not paying for shit. Either you're gonna give us food or we're gonna take that bit.
This is what Americans, taxpayer, work for us. They work for me.
Now they're telling me I have to go work. Now I have to go do all this. Well, I literally got 5 kids.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm trying to sit here and spend time with them. I'm not trying to go work, 50, 60 hours a week so I can pay bills.
Don't be quitters
Oh
now.
my God,
y'all been
bro.
helping us all this fucking time. Now y'all want to tap out.
At
Get the
Hell
fuck-
Yeah America $10. As American, we have more grit and pride to go help others in countries that can't help themselves. Americans called fat or greedy. But we are not sacrificial.
Oh my God, bro. Is there an EBT American in my chat saying you look bitter and unhappy? You seem like a bitter and unhappy person. Don't get arrested, Queen. Calm down.
Fuck out of here. I want my EBT, yo. I want my EBT, and I'm not working for nobody.
Do you understand that there are people like me who cannot work?
If we deny
Oh, it's the
the
he
whole
can't.
America
look at him.
food stamps, bro, it's gonna be a problem. Walmart, get ready.
If you see somebody walking out,
Bro, what? Get ready, Walmart, for what? By the time they call the cops
At
and it takes
Yagi
them...
King $5, give them like $20 for going through an obstacle course 3 times. That way they are in better condition for when the draft gets enacted.
Appreciate you, brother. By the time this dude back here gets the cart full of shit and he tries to skedaddle off the scene, the cops have already arrived, bro. They can go get a donut and a coffee break. And by the time the cops pull up, he's still there trying to make his escape. Calm down, G.
Ready.
if you see somebody walking out, just turn and look the other way. Like, ain't no time. There's not time to be trying to play Captain Save America, trying to do the right thing, trying to stand up. Like, no. Let them people walk out.
If you work at a grocery store and you know that the food stamps is not working in November,
Oh my God.
and you see people stealing and you snitch, you deserve to die.
And please follow me to that motherfucking car. If you feeling motherfucking froggy, bitch, you ain't gonna make it back to your motherfucking position at that fucking Walmart store. I'm telling you.
If they stop my food stamps, me and my man will be at the grocery store walking out with two big ass carts. And ain't bet nobody better do nothing because my man coming hard behind me and it only take him one time to punch your ass.
And I'm gonna have one of my cousins with me that'll punch your ass so hard you gonna think a Jet 2 holiday hit your bitch ass if you think I ain't finna walk out that stuff.
You know how many homes about to get broken into? You know how many people about to get knocked over?
Hey, that's a good question. Why are so many of them fat as fuck? Why are these people that are depending on the government so fucking fat, dude? They are not in a caloric restriction whatsoever. There's not a food desert anywhere around these people. Can you explain to me why ordinary everyday Americans are struggling to afford food, but EBT Americans look like they eat good, haven't skipped a meal in decades? How's that? How's that possible? What is this whole EBT shit, a fucking scam or what?
The head coming out their job or leaving the ATM or the bank
I'm going back to stealing. I don't care. If you leave your car unlocked in the middle of the night, lock it, bitch. Because if I don't get no food stamps, best believe me and mine's gonna eat regardless.
I need my fucking EBT, yo. I need my money, yo. I need my fucking EBT.
Oh my God. Dude, the bottom of the barrel in America. Look at all these fucking people. Another EBT meltdown.
The SNAP recipients, like, what is it? It's not like they're possibly abusing it or anything, right?
This lady was standing behind me and I was getting ready to pay, and of course I take out my EBT card. Because what else am I going to pay with?
Cash, debit card, credit card, you know, the same thing that people who don't receive EBT pay with.
And then she's like, ma'am, I love your nails. How much did they cost? I'm like, oh, these were like $85.
No nails done here because that's a luxury. And I don't typically splurge on luxuries because I'd rather make sure that everything is provided for my house and my kids. So
iPhone, done up nails, done up hair. Yeah, $85 for nails. $85 fucking dollars crying about EBT.
We do glue-ons around here. $8.99 from Walgreens.
And then once she sees me taking out my card, she starts bitching. She's like, you paid $85 for your nails, but you need EBT to pay for your groceries? I'm like, yes, bitch.
That's the problem right there. If you can afford $80 to $85 to however much money you spend on getting your nails done, which is not a necessity, as you can see. If you can afford to spend that money, then you should be using that money on groceries. Plain and simple. This is why people are tired of people overusing SNAP benefits. Plain and simple.
Yeah, that program needs to be absolutely reformed completely.
I'm telling you, this is going to be a thing. People are going to start, instead of stealing groceries from the stores, they're going to start watching people go to their cars.
Okay, great. Start packing concealed carry. The moment somebody approaches you, when you're in your car putting your groceries away and they try to grab your shit, fucking blast them. In self-defense. The dumbest thing you can do, especially with the heightened tensions in America today. And then you're just open. A bunch of people are openly saying they can't wait to go rob stores. They can't wait. We are going to rob people now in parking lot. We're just going to sit in the parking lots while you shop for your food. And the moment you put it in the trunk of your car, we're going to run up on you and take your shit. Okay. Okay.
And they're going to take all of their groceries. And you know what the store going to do? Not our problem. Not our business. It's outside the store. They didn't do it in the store.
Dude, imagine making videos like this, whining you're not getting your EBT, basically saying, watch, we're going to rob you guys. We're going to rob the stores. And like, like gloating about it too. Like, well, I'm going to get mine, bro. Why? Do you think you're going to stop me from getting these fucking benefits? Well, I'm going to rob your ass. Prison. Put him in prison. Jail.
And people are really going to be stealing people carts of groceries out of the grocery parking lot. I'm telling you. It seems like it's headed that way. Now, what other choices are people going to have?
Get a fucking job, bro. A job. Why is it always so like, I'm going to starve to death without this EBT? If I don't get a job, does that ever cross your mind? Why don't you get a job? Why don't you why don't you go to work like literally everybody else instead of depending on fucking handouts for decades? Do you know what a job is? EBT means it's already stolen from the taxpayer. Buying pre-cooked lobster with EBT. Blackest thing you can do, it says. Wow, dude, just literally, they're just
You're at the grocery store and you see someone trying to survive, turn the fuck around.
And if you work in a grocery store, you are still going to get paid that hourly wage, whether somebody takes that food or not. Mind your fucking business.
If you ever see anyone borrowing food from the grocery store, just stay in your lane. Mind your own business. It's not your concern.
Millions are warning that if EBT food stamp benefits don't reload in November, they'll take matters into their own hands. Some say, the taxpayers work for me. They need to feed my kids.
My kids have not eaten in 5 days. It is the taxpayers' responsibility to take care of my kids.
Oh my God, bro. These people. Oh my God. What can you even say? What is it even redeemable? It's your job to go to work and be a wage slave and pay taxes and try to make it straight in this world. It's your job to take care of my kids. We must coexist somehow. We must coexist. We live together. We have to find a way to make society work with people who don't want to work in society.
So this is my problem with socialism. When the money runs out, and it always does, the entitled people resort to violence and stealing. This is why socialism always...
It's not socialism, Ted. We try them.
When I cash them out, the receipt.
Oh, man.
And I know y'all won't. So as quiet as it's kept, and I know y'all won't admit this because I know how y'all are, but y'all aren't really outraged that the food stamps, the EBT shit is about to get shut down. Y'all are really outraged because now you're gonna have to take the money you normally buy weed, wigs, bundles, get your nails done. Y'all are gonna have to take those funds and buy food now. And don't say I'm lying, because when y'all were receiving food stamps, you were selling the food stamps. So you weren't worried about feeding your children men. But all of a sudden now, you're outraged. Oh my God, like, why we gonna feed our kids the same way you've been feeding them? Sleeping with that man. Getting a few funds from him. Keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't been worried about them kids and their well-being, but all of a sudden now, you are. Okay.
Oh, God, look at this one. Beauty.
Along with us, and let's go YouTube. This your girl Quay, and yes, we at Sam's doing the shopping haul. So y'all come along with us, and let's get some stuff out of Sam's. I'm really just gonna be a very short video, just a little tic-tac, boom, bam. You feel me? But yeah, y'all, let's get into it. They got some animal crackers for $8.98, so we just gonna grab one of these. So yeah, my kids like Nutrigrain bars, so they for about 30 seeds for
What the fuck, dude?
$9.98. So we gonna grab that. We gonna put it on.
Why isn't EBT strictly restricted to meat, vegetables, dairy, eggs?
So yeah, we already started shopping. So we got some chips, some blow pop for the kids, some little bites, some hot chips, some fruit snacks, some Gushers, some powdered donuts, oatmeal pies, some honey
What
buns.
the fuck is in this cart, bro? Blow pops? Honey buns? There's not any real food here.
And yeah, so let's get a cinnamon toast crunch here.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
For 49 ounces for $7.98. So we're gonna grab one of those, and they got Frosted Flakes for $7.88. And we're gonna grab one of those. Let's go down the season aisle. So at Sam's, I come.
Bro, how many calories are you consuming daily to be that morbidly obese? And you're doing it on taxpayer funds.
Here and I get the big old seasoning salt. So
What the fuck? All right, let me just play some of these.
Ken Rosley, $5.
I can't believe what I'm
Thumbs
seeing.
up emoji.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Pink Supremacy, 6,076, $5.33. 7 days into a water fast, going for at least 8. It's not even hard. Just stay busy and you won't even miss food.
Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, 7 days is no joke, dude. Congratulations on that. I tried it, and by day 3, I was going to go fucking insane.
At SuckDuck, 5,915, $10. We don't have a communism problem. We have a free rider problem.
We have a lot of problems.
One of those, and it is for $6.68, which is a good price. And yeah, let's see what else we need.
What the fuck are they buying?
Olive oil for $11.48. Video is not gonna be Easter saving $1. So we're gonna grab one of these. $12.48, and that's the Healing Valley. Velveeta, 1998. I usually don't buy these, but I ran out of macaroni and cheese, and I went to my sister's house and got this. And she had it. And it's like $5, not $5. Some of this regular spaghetti sauce.
Oh my God, bro.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna grab it like it ain't nothing. Green beans.
Bro, they're shopping like this is like a month worth of food. What the fuck?
It's gonna be 8 cans.
Yeah, and where is the damn food? Where's the actual real food?
2 of these. I'm gonna grab one.
Okay, of course, got to get that molasses in your blood.
The syrup running for 6, 7, and 8. So we're gonna get one of those.
Syrup.
6, 7, 8. We're gonna get one of these. From just the marshmallow, y'all, for 7 and 8. So yes.
Bro, what the fuck are you eating? We're paying for this?
I'm gonna get a box of those. So we're gonna grab a box of fruit pepper for $6.48. And a box of fruit. Liquor Tron for $7. And the peaches, they right there together. So we're gonna get a box of them.
Bro, this is the worst slop shopping at Costco I've ever seen. It popped, of course.
$9.98.
What the fuck? What does she look like? Come on, dog. What the fuck are we doing? Okay.
And you think that you better come up in here and steal from the Wally World because you ain't getting no food stamps? I'm gonna call the police on you. I'm gonna call. They're on speed dial. I'm gonna call.
There's a civil war.
Expeditiously. I don't care. I don't.
You see how different people with jobs are? Okay. Wow. Stupendous.
Now you threatening us, talking about if they get rid of the SNAP, I'm gonna start stealing. Ain't that what you been doing? You been stealing, huh? you been stealing. We're not gonna talk about every time I turn around and look on the internet, y'all stealing in Walmart, you're stealing in Walgreens, you're stealing in CVS, you're stealing everywhere. What is you talking about? That ain't no threat. You've been stealing. Let's not talk about the fact that most of y'all got Section 8 vouchers that are not even yours.
What?
You got 2, 3, 4 generations of Section 8 vouchers that you're using for somebody who ain't been in that Section 8 house in probably 10, 15 years. So let's not talk about, oh, you gonna start stealing.
Wow.
You done made a whole career out of stealing. At this point, you should be in retirement. You should be looking to retire from your stealing career. Ain't nobody afraid of you talking about you gonna go steal. And while you're stealing, please get you a loaf of bread. Oh my God, today, Shando. Please get you a loaf of bread, ho. And some bologna, and a little bit of cheese, mayo, Miracle Whip, whatever the hell it is that you like. Since you're stealing, steal you some Dijon mustard. And make you a sandwich and shut the hell up. Because what I want you to hear me say is nobody give a damn about your threats about you stealing something. We used to your fucking ass stealing. Then you mad because we don't want illegal people also over here stealing. We got to deal with your stealing and we got to deal with illegal people stealing too. What the hell is going on here? We sick of this shit. You know what? It's all right. Go get you a sandwich. Go somewhere and sit down. November 3rd.
Jeez. Yeah, this is so true. No job in America, fridge full of absolute slop. Middle class in America got a fucking water bottle in here struggling. Jesus. But without my EBT card, I'll starve. Hey, what was this thing called in Blade? Precious? What was this thing called? What was the name of this thing? I forgot the name. What is that? Somebody knows what the name of this thing is. Had a funny Pearl. Yeah, had a funny name. Pearl. Oh man. Oh, it's a collage.
With the cart.
Oh my god, bro. This shit's a joke. There you go. That's EBT in America. Great. All right. Let's see what we got here. Burn dog. No. Okay, let's get some. Should we do this one? Gen Zer explains why her generation's screwed when it comes to sex. What else we got here?
At Yaguking $10, Terrence Pop several years ago released a video that detailed how a couple could game the American government and live as if they made $70,000 annually, all
Wow.
on the taxpayer's dime.
Actually, let's go to this one. This is more positive, I think. Become the top 10%, boys, in your, or top 1%, excuse me. School's been very good to me, yes. Become the top 1% in your 20s. Let's go.
99% of men waste their 20s, and I do
Call
not
of
want
Duty.
that happening to you. I want you to be the top 1%, and I'm going to give you my life story, if you will. I just turned 27 last week. I wanted to make a video around this age, and I'm getting older too, so I was doing some self-reflection, and this is going to be a very, very direct video. This is going to be more of my kind of quote-unquote controversial videos, and I don't really care at this point. I see so
Gangster.
many people pissing away their youth, and it's very frustrating. I've made the same mistakes too, so I just want to preface that. Don't be concerned if I go really, really deep.
His channel is called BizPath. He's only got 22,000 subs. He posted this 2 months ago. Let's go. Let's get some wisdom nuggets here.
Or I have some very passionate talking points here. The
Get 'em.
first thing I want to get out of the way, you must lift heavy weights minimum 3 to 4
Fuck
times
yeah,
a week.
get
I
jacked.
cannot tell you what this has done to my confidence, my head, my mind, my stamina in business, women, like literally everything. I'll throw up some pictures. My physique, I would like to say I feel good, I look
Fuck yeah.
half decent, and I keep my health pretty well in shape. And physical presence, it changes everything, guys. It changes how people treat you, right? I'm talking like the bigger shoulders, better posture. It does deem a level of respect. People do treat you differently. I don't care what anyone says. And it sounds very rude. We'll get into this in a second, but there is so many fat and frankly unattractive dudes I see out there nowadays that do nothing about it. It absolutely blows my mind. They're hunched over. They've got horrible looking everything. And I'm not, listen, if you're in the gym and you're trying, that's totally different. If I see guys in the gym that are bigger, you have no idea. I have more respect for those dudes than the people that don't, right? The people that don't step foot in the gym, that do nothing about it, that's what frustrates me, right? And it's not just the physical thing, right? Testosterone boosts effects on everything, right? Decision making, risk tolerance, again, like I said, your energy. It also transfers that mental toughness. If you can push through like a heavy weightlifting session, you can kind of just push through some difficult business calls.
And that's very basic, you guys. I mean, the gym is like level 1 hard. The gym is like where you go barely begin doing some shit. Oh, pick up heavy weight, big deal. Once you start getting into combat sports, once you start getting into like kickboxing, shit like that, once you start, branching out even and touching grass and doing more endurance sports, start trying to run ultra marathons or just a marathon. Even a marathon is like, it'll kick your ass. Start going on 20 plus, 30 plus mile hikes, doing crazy shit. Once you actually start beyond, the gym, and I'm not knocking the gym, people start in different places. The gym might be intimidating to a lot of people because they've never really done anything. But what he's saying about that mental fortitude that you build up, use it as a stepping point. You do the gym, then you step into something more harder, more extreme, that's more taxing on the body. And then, it really is in your mind, like a little muscle that you build. Even a cold plunge, if you want to start there, get into an ice bath. It's so uncomfortable. The feeling is so shitty. Your brain is screaming at you not to do this. If you train yourself to do things that you don't want to do, that you constantly put off, or you train yourself just to not let that little bitch voice take control of your actions, your life is going to get infinitely better. quickly. It's scary how quick this happens. A lot of people live far below their potential because they live on autopilot mode where that little voice tells them how to live their lives forever, tells them to stay in that safe space, never go outside the box, never leave your comfort zone. Right here is okay.
There's some difficult conversations you're going to have with employees. So the discipline spills over. It makes my work so much easier. Quite frankly, it just makes everything in life so much easier. And I've never been, messed with. I still want to learn how to fight. That's still something that's on my radar, and I'm going to do it by the end of this year for sure. I'm going to start 100%. But nobody messes with you. And women notice this too. Employers notice this. Everyone notices this around me, right? So you have to make yourself a physical well-being. You have to create that. And if you don't, guys, that starts with everything. That just flows down all throughout the well from that point, right? So what I don't want you to do is get stuck here, because I see a lot of gym bros that think this is everything. And listen, if you're one of those dudes that just commits to working out 12 hours a day and you have nothing else going on in your life, you're just as much of a loser as the next guy. So hate to break it to you, but it's the goddamn truth. I don't even care. Point 2, you need to own a high income skill. Not just have, you need to.
I mean, imagine thinking like going to the gym and don't be a fat ass is so inflammatory today. Like, this is how much the Overton shift into our feminized society we've gotten, that you literally have men that will, you tell them to go train, go to the gym, go work out, and they'll literally be like, my gym bro, grind mindset. Yeah, bro, you're just in the fucking matrix. So, like, I'm going to do what I want. Literally, there's guys that will shit on you and they act like the feminists act, basically destroying themselves. Literally, like, how women vote against their own well-being. It's like men get into things that are against their own well-being. Literally, they will argue against their own well-being. I've seen it so many times. You tell a dude, hey, go work out. If it's not the gym, go running. It's free to get your fucking ass up out of bed and go run around the neighborhood. Go climb a mountain if you have one next to you. Go on a trail if there's trails next to you. Go run around the park if you have a park next to you. Go do something. You could do calisthenics at home. There's always something you can do to keep your body sharp, because a sharp body, forget the attention from women and all this shit. If you don't have a good vessel for your brain, you're going to suffer. Your thoughts will suffer. Your mentality, the psychological nature, your scaffolding suffers. You start to become a negative person. Little things that annoy you will absolutely break you mentally. And I mean like this, dude. The person that gets into a ice cold plunge or takes a cold shower every single day, they have a level of mental resistance where little things don't bother them. And even when things don't go as planned, they're not bothered as much. Stress management is something you learn from doing all this thing, something hard physically. Most men today lack stress management. And that stress bubbles up with enough pressure, and when it finally blows, guys will have meltdowns or relieve the stress with coping. So because they don't manage their stress properly, they will cope with porn, with video games, with anime, with God knows what, to unhealthy levels. You can play your video games. I don't give a fuck if you like your video games. The problem is there's a lot of men playing 8 hours a day or more. There's a lot of men that literally spend their entire weekends playing games and they don't even have a job. There's dudes that literally put in 20 plus hours. That's a job. A job's worth of gaming. Now, if you do a couple hours here and there because you just got off your 12-hour shift and you're making $100K a fucking year and you got all your shit together and house paid, go fuck off, bro. I'm not talking about you. You clearly know how to manage stress and your time. I'm talking about the dudes that are literally stuck, bitching. They have nowhere to go, nothing to do, no potential. They can't make it out of the gutter that they're in, and then they're spending 20 plus hours a week playing video games. They're jacking off all their fucking motivation, everything. And they don't have the willpower to do anything. If anything ever gets difficult in their lives, they're one tug away from feeling better. Those are the guys we're talking about. There are millions of men stuck in this loop where they cannot, will not, and feel stuck because the exact thing that they're consuming, the exact habits that they have, is the thing keeping their legs wedged like cement around your ankles, making it impossible for you to climb out of the hole. The reason we say go lift, it's not for bitches. It's not to be vain and look better for society. Although That's the cherry on top, that when you look better, you get more attention. People take you more seriously. That's the superficial, vain shit. Why we tell you, or me, or other people that may be going deeper in this, to go work out, go running, go jump in cold water when you don't want to, take a fucking cold shower. The reason we say this is that the mental benefits you get, the fortitude, the stress management, is going to lead you down a path of making better decisions, of chasing higher goals, of surviving through obstacles and keep going. That will give you a better outcome in life. I never felt better than when I woke up every day and took a cold fucking plunge where my balls were freezing off. And that was my morning coffee. I woke up, jumped in the cold plunge. My day getting out of bed was literally following the worst thing I could possibly do for my body. And you know what that does? That set the tone for the entire day for me. After surviving an extreme 2, 3, 4, 5-minute plunge where your body goes numb, where there's literally, you need an ice pick to pick the water to break the surface to get in. The rest of the day, people cutting me off in traffic. I tell this story all the time, cutting me off in traffic, unexpected shit going on, bad news, stress from work, pressure from life. None of that matters. I just survived a cold plunge. And to the outsider who's never done one, you're thinking, oh, it's just water, bro. Yes, it's cold and you're uncomfortable. What could possibly be so magical about that? Take one. Do one. And do it repeatedly over and over again. And you will see what I mean when you build this muscle in the brain that allows you to do things that you normally procrastinate. This is like the magic pill for anybody who's a procrastinator, who sucks at self-starting, who has low motivation and low energy and can't seem to get going on any idea. Take a cold plunge. And I just cold water on your fucking shower, bro. Go get ice. Put it in your bathtub, if you have a bathtub, and then you get in there when that shit is cold as fuck. That's one way. This is one hack to bulletproof your mind psychologically, is doing things you don't want to do. And that works for anybody, whether you got bad knees or a bad back or whatever your stupid fucking excuse is to be an absolute fat toad today. Next, why you do the physical training is because you're building up your muscles and doing something that is difficult on a sustained time period, whether it's running for 60 minutes, working out for a couple of hours, going on a marathon run that might take you 3 hours to do that you're training for. The fact that you could sustain and embrace a shit, what could you say? Embrace the suck, like they like to say. The fact that you could sustain a unpleasant state for hours, not just 2 minutes, not just 3, not just 60 seconds here, for hours. It builds something in you. You get a level of self-confidence. You get this ability to believe in yourself, that you could trust that you can do more than you're capable of. That's confidence. That's where you get your confidence. Then, once you get this part down, your brain will do the rest. Think about where you want to go in life, what you want to be, what skills you want to learn. Think about all this shit, and then your brain will begin plotting a course for you when you take yourself seriously. I have the book right here, and there's a reason I keep it here, because this one changed my life. Your brain is far more powerful than you ever fucking thought possible. Buy this book or you're fucking gay. You are a weak bitch if you do not own this book and you don't read it. Here it is. Psycho-Cybernetics, Maxwell Maltz. Get the fucking book. Or if you're too much of a bitch to read an actual book physically and you need somebody to speak the words for you because you're fucking TikTok brain rotted out of your fucking mind, you're an NPC, then get the Audible, bitch, and listen to this book and shut the fuck up until you've digested every word. And then you will realize just what exactly is in here and what you're capable of. And the answer is far more than you ever imagined. And these are not platitudes. You literally live in a cage. Your life is a cage that your brain has created without you even knowing, because it was comfortable. Because somebody made fun of you one day. Because they told you something about yourself. Because for some reason, somebody affected your self-esteem in some way that you don't think you're capable of. The same shit that people deal with on the channel when I talk about starting a business, whatever business it is. Oh, we can't all do that. If I tell you how to make a faceless YouTube channel, oh, it's just AI slop. If I tell you what to do, what to read, where to work out, I ain't working out. What's the point? I don't want a woman. You sound like a weak fucking toad, bro. Literally, you drain the life out of everyone around you. Nobody cares to hear you complaining and bitching like that. There is always something that you can do that affects your mood, that affects your mentality, that could actually change the course of your life. And then somebody right here, maybe I am a weak fucking toad. That's great, dude. That's a great step. Step number 1 is admitting you're a weak bitch and you have the mentality of a fucking toad and you can't do anything for yourself. So you just start with the basics. Turn the fucking water on cold and go take an uncomfortable cold shower and scream at the corner of the wall like the fucking idiot you are. It's that simple. Do that every day and then you'll be able to build a little bit of mental resistance to you. And then you graduate into the next level. Once you could take cold showers with no problem, do something harder. Do something harder. You see, it's like little stairs. You don't try to go from A to Z in one jump. You will never be the guy that you're looking up to, the superhero version of yourself in one day. Don't try to eat clean perfectly day 1. Go run 5 miles day 1. Go to bed at 10 day 1. Journal perfectly day 1. Calm down, bro. Implement step by step. Once you master one of these little things, you move on to the next one. This is the whole point of the Spartan Challenge that people have forgotten, but I post on the second channel all the time. The Spartan Challenge is showing you a way step by step for free. It's very cheap. It's free to do the challenge, but it shows you step by step. Just make a little promise to yourself, survive for 6 months against yourself, and you'll come out of it another man. That's all it is. Be better than who you were yesterday. That's the goal. Are you better than the man you were yesterday? If the answer is yes, you're moving forward. If the answer is no, you're regressing. That's it. That's the name of the game. By the time a year passes, you will be absolutely shocked. You'll be saying things like, I can't recognize who I was a year ago. I don't even know who that is. That's a completely different person. I can't believe I've transformed, not just physically, but mentally, transformed into a completely different human being. It's hard to fathom that the same person today was that guy from a year ago. Anyways, no more ranting. All right, I ranted enough. This video ends. If you want to go watch the rest of it, it's called BizPath. What do we got here? All right, we'll go. Should we do a Bernie bro? No, let's listen to this chick and we'll call it. Let's see. Let's go light, dude.
All right, folks. So the phrase "demography is destiny" is attributed to French philosopher, also the famed father of sociology, Auguste Comte. And essentially, it means that you need to have a growing population to have a growing economy. With that in mind, take a look at this. This is the birth rate of United States. And I got to tell you, if the statement, either that statement Auguste made is a lie or this is going to catch up to us later. I happen to believe it's the latter. It will catch up to us later. So the question, of course, is can or will Gen Z come to the rescue? I want to bring in now New York Post columnist Ricky Schlott. All right, Ricky. The 65 and older crowd will be 37% of our population come 2040. We need you guys to come to the rescue.
Yeah, I don't have too much faith in us, unfortunately. I mean, statistically speaking, the majority of young people who are childless right now, 56% say that they just simply don't want children. It's not even that it's a factor of circumstance. And I hear frequently from my friends, they're worried about bringing kids into a dying planet and a climate catastrophe or the state of the world right now. And so I think it's even a little bit more ideological with young people today.
20 years ago, a professor in Japan, now Japan has always been ahead of us on this sort of social media, internet kind of stuff. And these improvised, these games where you become the person in the game. So he came up with a phrase called grass eaters. Essentially, it was the young men there rejected their parents. Their parents were proud. They would work for the same company for 50 years. They would do a 2-hour commute both ways. And they were really proud of that. Instead, these kids, they slept all day. They played video games all night. They immersed themselves into this world. Their population is going to go from 120 million people to 80 million people. And about 50% of them said they have no interest in sex at all. The reason I bring that up is
what are the hormone profiles of these young people? Can you imagine all the processed slop they're eating, all the chemicals in their environment, all the garbage, all the sedentary lifestyle, staying at home gaming for hours at a time? Your body's literally wasting away. Can you imagine the state of their hormones? This like, no wonder men have the hormones of like a 9-year-old today when they're 20. What does it feel like to have the hormonal profile of a 90-year-old man 100 years ago when you're 20 years old today? Jesus.
I wrote a pretty provocative article. It's called "When It Comes to Sex, My Generation is Screwed." I mean, is this a similar situation?
Yeah, I mean, I think that one thing that we have here that's even worse is our partisan politics situation, where we know that boys are going to the right and women are going to the left. And increasingly, they're saying that they refuse to date someone on the other side of the aisle. So more than half of women say that being a conservative is a red flag. More than half say listening to Joe Rogan is a red flag. And so I think we're kind of headed towards a demographical disaster if we can't bridge the divide, at least putting politics on the back burner for romance.
How do you put it on the backside? How do you put it on the side when it's everywhere? I mean, that's, you know, it's hard to find.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a nuanced issue. Look at all the points: health, wealth, parents, issues passed on, brothers or sisters, politics, AI, media. It's all part of it. Yeah, that's a really good point. Social media has absolutely destroyed the ability to function with other people in person. Everybody's so awkward now. So we're more disconnected than ever, despite being more digitally connected than ever. People are just socially awkward and lost all sense of being able to be, I guess, socially a butterfly. Is that what they used to call it? A social butterfly? Or at least not have that weird like creeper energy about you. So especially COVID, it didn't help the young people who had, you know, a couple of years of having to stay in. So, okay. People don't know how to behave socially. Then you have them consuming TikTok and other social media brain rot and falling into rabbit holes of extreme ideology. Fine, you could say that's a whole nother thing. So on the left, women are skewing heavily Democrat, and on the right, men are skewing heavily conservative or Republican. And that's causing issues because the brainwashed women on dating apps will say, if you're a conservative, swipe left. And if you're a Trump voter, swipe left. It's like, okay, at one point, liberals will just literally get outbreeded and will not exist in the gene pool anyway. So conservatives will inherit the earth. But until that happens, we are going to be on a massive demographic decline, which will cause massive pressure points to the economy. And we'll probably end up having when the population collapse comes, an economic collapse as well due to demographics. So that's on the way. So besides social media, then you have the job situation. There's ghost jobs everywhere. Income has not risen to keep up with inflation. We've had stagnant wages for the better part of 20 years now. So young people cannot afford to date. Forget marriage, let alone marriage and kids. It's expensive to go out on a date and just pay for dinner as a man. And the dinner you're expected to pay for is with some chick whose puss was blown out by half the block. She's full of tattoos and piercings and colored hair. And if she isn't, she's still got an OnlyFans. And what's a man good for anyway? So, you know what I mean? What's the point of even dating? Young men are asking. And the women are looking for essentially free meals, free lifestyle upgrades, and whatever. And they're willing to be shared. So you got social media, you got dating, then you got the culture and society that's telling women to avoid having kids, avoid getting married, and that men are good for nothing. So the culture is toxic to men and masculinity. So it's causing on one end men to pull back and just play the video games, watch the fucking porn endlessly and the anime instead of dealing with women who hate their guts and have an adversarial attitude. So then those women don't want any men unless you're a bull maxer with a 9-inch magical slong that knots up, and you're part of that sick fetish fantasy, because even normal men don't do it anymore for these fucking weirdos of modernity. So It's all completely broken from the top down. Our institutions are shit. They don't serve the people, especially the young people. Our culture is shit. It commodified everything, including dating, including health, including wellness, everything. The economy is broken financially. Nothing makes sense for these young people. And when you put all this stuff together, they've been sold out. That's why they're not having kids. It's not that they don't want kids. It's not that they wouldn't want a partner to share the rest of their life with. Everything around them is broken. That's what's happening.
Any part of the society, TV commercials, television shows, articles, books are being rewritten and re-edited in certain ways. How do you put it aside when it feels like who's ever pulling the strings actually trying to make it worse?
Well, I mean, that's why I think that we're really in a tough spot, young people. I mean, I, as a libertarian young woman, I'm often told, like, oh, it's a breath of fresh air because you're not going to be offended by everything that I say.
So are you kind of in the middle? Like, you're in a lonely island almost, aren't you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think the out-group dissenters are sort of the most valuable commodities. I know a lot of young men who play up their woke positions in order to get women, and they say that it's been pretty effective, actually.
You know, there was an old saying, and I would think it still applies, that when you're young and you don't have a heart, like it goes something to the fact that when you're young and you're not liberal, then you don't have a heart. Yeah. When you're older and you're not conservative, you don't have a brain.
Yeah.
I mean, could it just be that same thing going on? Is there something deeper?
I think that the crazier part is that we just know that young people are forking. So it's less a factor of age. We know that the boys are going right. And the girls are going left.
Is that because the young men feel hopeless? I mean, this is a society that's been trying to rewrite the fact that women make less than men, and it feels like the push has been to give women a push, and it's come at the expense of men or young men.
Absolutely. A lot of young men, I think, definitely feel like the girl power stuff is disproportionate and that boys are disenfranchised in society today. I would also say that I think the left right now really panders to some more female proclivities to be more empathetic and emotional and want to protect people and do the right thing and be charitable. And so I do think that there is almost a feminization of the left wing.
So I think I've got good news for you.
Okay.
A new app is on the way. Are you ready for it?
I am ready for it.
All right. This app starts with it scores your here we go. This is your score, your dating app for people with good credit. So at the very least, you're getting a 675 on up. I mean, would that help?
I'm not sure about this one. I mean, I think it's an interesting conversation starter, but I think if you're filtering particularly for financial reasons, it might be a little transactional for my taste.
Really?
I
mean, isn't one of the big mistakes is people don't have honest conversations about finance, or when it comes to young folks, it's still about
the first date, though,
yeah.
I don't know, if you're building your credit, if you've forgot one bill but you're headed back on the right track, I don't want to just filter you out for that reason.
Demographics as destiny. Are we? Right now, it feels almost like we're not going to catch up. I mean, is it possible to ever have another baby boom?
I don't know. I mean, I do think that there's like a small subgroup of Gen Zers who are starting to come around and realize
we're not having a baby boom, dude. Not anytime soon. You want a baby boom? We're going to have to do an economic reset of some sort. And that's either going to be a global war or an absolute financial meltdown on the level of the Great Depression. So you want that kind of, because there's going to be no boom otherwise. We have to retool the economy. What we're going to have is the great extinguishing. That's what we're going to have. Once AI gets going and all these people start getting fired by the millions, and you got these dark factories and this automated shit where robots are stacking in the grocery stores, they're automatically checking you out with like the app on your phone. You don't even need to scan anything anymore. You walk in, you grab things in your cart. There's multiple cameras that are AI powered, have facial recognition. They know the account you own and deduct money from your account. You walk in, you walk out with this shit, your account is deducted. Are you ready for that? Are you ready for that? Trucking, one of the other last bastions for men. Trucking is going away. Tesla already has an AI fucking truck that drives itself, right? A self-driving truck. They have robo-taxis now already. In Phoenix, they've been with what is it? Waze? I forgot the name of the company. Jesus Christ, I haven't. Waymo robo-taxis, and now Tesla robo-taxis have been released. Soon security is going to be gone too. They got security robo-dogs. One day those security robo-dogs or humanoid bots will come first with pepper spray, then with a stun gun, and then maybe with live fire ammunition, right? We're going to have robots that are going to start enforcing the law. I don't think people are ready for the kind of future that we have headed down the pipeline. And what happens when this mass unemployment hits like an inflection point in society where the pain is too large to manage? I don't know. That's going to be interesting. You think reproduction is going to be our biggest problem in the future? You're expecting a baby boom? In what economy? Yeah. Good luck. The economy of the future is going to be extremely interesting. The winners are going to shrink dramatically and be concentrated, and the losers are going to widen out. It won't be the bottom 20% of economy. It won't be the bottom 30, 40. It's going to be the bottom 50 at least. And then the other 40% are going to barely making it by, squeezing by barely. And then the top 10%ers are going to have the lion's share of everything. Why do you think these billionaires are building these fucking multi-million-dollar bunkers and compounds with private security? They will live through a lifetime of a massive economic reset of some sort or another. They see it coming. It's not just, oh, it's a destabilizing period in global politics right now. Geopolitics are a bit shaky, and we have wars sprouting up here. That's not what they're preparing for. That shit's irrelevant. What's coming down the pipe with AI is what they're preparing for. That's the reset everyone's waiting for. Let's see what the comments say. Love is grand. Divorce is 100 grand. Both my sons told me that it's just not worth the risk to date. The chances of being accused of doing something wrong is just not worth it. Yeah, this is just the dating side, dude. Anyways, we're done, boys, for the night. Appreciate you tuning in. If you want to send me videos, tribeofmen@yahoo.com. Appreciate those that send me stuff in the email. I do read as many as I can. I don't get to all of them, but I have a couple people that consistently send me really good stuff. So shout outs to you guys. Thank you. I try to get to them. There's a lot of stuff to get to. And let me know how you like the researched topics like the Sweden one and, you know, other topics that we've been covering apart from just the reaction videos. I like to do those, but they take a lot, dude. It takes a lot to get accurate data from that shit and make sure you're not talking out of your ass. And also, when you cover topics like that, you put yourself at risk because you hurt a lot of people's sensitivities today. Censorship is always the thing that could happen, especially when we went viral with the Reddit post on Sweden, like I said. The left are insane, loony, and absolutely love to use the government to suppress anybody who thinks differently from them. Real authoritarian over there on the left these days. So, yeah. If you got videos like that or topics, send them to tribeofmen@yahoo.com. Or if you do topic research, like I got guys that just send me a bunch of crazy headlines with some more information in there. You know who you are. Appreciate you. And then I do a bit more research in the morning when I wake up, read into things a little more, and then we just talk about it on stream, how we've been talking about it on stream. Anyways. Thank you, Polaris. Good night, everybody. Good evening, good morning, depending on where you are in the world. And as usual, we'll see you on the next one. We'll go live again Monday. So we always take the weekends off. I'll just be reposting these chopped up for the channel for those who couldn't catch the videos. And yeah. If you haven't joined us on the private community, we do calls 3 times a week. I forgot about that. And thank you to everybody that's been getting apparel. And yeah, join us on the Faceless AI wave. Tribe of Men. I need to update my email. tribeofmen@yahoo.com. We got sued by some fucking woke guppies in San Francisco. I think it was. They had BLM all over their shit, and they were all woke, talking about, we're a tribe of men. Let's go cry on each other's shoulders. So fucking gay. Anyways, it's fine. It's all good. Onward and forwards, boys. One foot in front of the other. Take care, guys.